This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our loyal fans for your continued support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.
Quarterback yellow flag has come out. Scott Riggs in the 92 looks as though his engine has expired, but it was only a one-truck incident and doesn't look like any fluid was put down on the track. But that puts the field behind the pace truck and all following the number 3 of Ty Dillon.
Right now, let's see if they can pull off synchronized pitting. The caution flag doesn't come out. Oh, look at Brendan trying to go up the middle.
There's no room. Here we go. Right as it crosses the stripe, we have issues. 77's caught up. Chris Fontaine in the 84. Now the 8 of Max Gresham. The 5 of Tim George Jr. The 93 we saw. Jason White caught up. The 62 of Brendan Gaughan.
There's the 77 of Romain Quiroga.
07 of Chris Cockrum involved in this.
Chris Fontaine always runs so well here.
Brendan
Yeah, Brendan Newberry. Just wasn't quite enough for him. Looked like Brendan decided to go up through the middle, and the hole closed up on him.
And we've watched Brendan this whole race put himself in a position to go up the middle, and he had made it work until then, and there just simply wasn't room to make that move.
Second caution comes out at Daytona. Season opener for the Camping World Truck Series.
There's Romain Quiroga doing such a great job in one of the Red Horse trucks, and a lot of damage to that Net 10 wireless Toyota.
This was a mid-pack accident that caught up quite a few trucks. Chris Fontaine, one of those in the 84, as he'll limp back to pit road. A lot of sparks from the right front of that truck.
A lot of damage to Brendan Newberry's pole-sitting Chevrolet.
Got into the outside wall. A lot of damage to the right side of Newberry. And there you see the 8, Max Gresham.
Max just barely turned into the outside wall, but you can see significant damage to the right front of that truck. And here's Tim George Jr. We talked about a good solid run for Tim, but now he's tore his left front all to pieces, and he's doing more damage now with that tire coming apart. Look at Brendan just trying to squeeze in that little bit of a hole. And
looked like Brendan didn't know he was there. Didn't know he was trying to make it 3 wide, go up through the middle, and Brendan came down a little bit. And then it's just around. There's a 30 of Ryan Truex Jr.
Look at Jason White.
Trying to
slip
sneak
and
through.
sliding. Is he going to make his way through there? Yes.
Yeah, there's a
little bit of
and hangs on.
I mean, well, there's been some incredible saves during this race.
And the caution has come out. They'll start to slow back down. Problem on the backstretch.
And you can't just keep saving them. It's impossible. The way these trucks are rubbing on each other and pushing trucks sideways, you can't get lucky but so long.
Fourth caution comes out. Jennifer Jo Cobb in the 10, already down on the apron.
This is going to be a little bit of insurance for the guys that want to stay out and try to make it on fuel. Watch this.
4 wide.
Contact between the 98 of Johnny Sauter, the 6 of Justin Lofton.
Justin was trying to get in a lane that wasn't there, and it almost caused him a crash. But heck, you're close to 4 wide. I guess you better do something, right?
I'm not sure we can go 5 wide here, can we?
I don't think so. Only at Martinsville every now and then.
Jeff Agnew in the 27 will get the free pass. Once again, out in front, Johnny Sauter, Todd Bodine, Kyle Busch is 3rd. That second line backing up once again. Now Buescher moves to the outside, leaves Ryan Truex in the middle. He has Miguel Paludo behind him, and around they go. Ryan Truex goes around.
I think Ryan Truex had a tire go flat.
Yeah, it started smoking there, and he was trying to get out of that pack. See Ross Chastain, the 19 truck involved.
We saw the 30.
Oh, what a
get loose, get wild. The 17 of Timothy Peters involved in this. A lot of damage to the front of that truck.
What a restart this is going to be, fellas.
The 5th caution comes out at Daytona, closing in on the final laps. And now the strategy will come into play.
You see the 30 of Ryan Truex. He's trying to get out of the way. I think you see that left tire is flat. John King does a nice job getting by, and then it just loses control.
Well, you see the tread come off the tire all the way down. Ryan did an amazing job keeping that thing straight for ever so long, but then finally the tire went all the way away.
See the damage on the 7 of John West Townley as well as the 17 of Timothy Peters. They really had a run going, and then he felt that tire going down, doing his best. Look at the inside line. They're just jammed up there, nowhere to go.
What about the job that James Busher did, recognizing that that 30 truck wasn't running right, and he was able to skip to the outside of Truex and kept from being a part of that accident?
Another look.
Ross Chastain just barely got a piece of that. Chase Coulter, Justin Lofton. 5 to go, Rick.
Back off the racetrack. 5 laps of racing to go. Johnny Sauter, Todd Bodine.
Oh, Dakota Armstrong missed a shift there, didn't get going with Todd Bodine. That's going to be costly for that outside lane.
Inside line moving. Top 4 trucks.
Ty Dillon was able to get down to the bottom, but now it looks like Armstrong has tied to the back of Bodine. See if they can rally. We watched a couple of trucks just a bit ago. James Busher and Ryan Truex make a big run up the outside, so we know it's there if they can make it work.
Todd Bodine's going to try to make that outside line work. He's in front of that second line. Down on the bottom of the racetrack, Johnny Sauter has Kyle Busch behind him. Kyle Busch has been second in this race 2 times and has never won in his 4 previous starts.
This dude mentioned that Matt Crafton got the free pass, back on the lead lap now.
Now you just got to figure out how to get through this mess.
4 laps of racing to go.
Look at Todd Bodine falling through the back of the pack in the middle by himself.
It's spread out. Bodine continues to fall back through the field.
What a helpless feeling that is. Todd was starting on that front row. Armstrong didn't get going, and look what it cost him, Phil. He's going to be back outside the top 20 when he starts falling.
Norm Benning going by on the inside. Matt Crafton going by on the inside.
What about started second, and Todd Bodine drops almost all the way to the back of the pack.
What about our man Norm right there in the lead pack battling late in the race? Look at that 3-truck breakaway. If they can stay tied together like that, I guarantee it, Kyle Busch believes he can put the move on Johnny Sauter on this last lap.
ThorSport trucks working together on the high side of the racetrack. Matt Crafton just in front of Todd Bodine.
See Todd trying to push him, going by Norm Benning. There's Norm in the inside. There's James Busher in the middle. It's time to forget about looking at their water temperature gauge with 3 laps to go.
Look at them squeeze the outside of Coulter. These 2 trucks are tied together, making up a lot of ground right now.
They've got a long way to go as well. 3 laps of racing, under 3 to go. Out in front, Johnny Sauter, Kyle Busch, Hornaday, Lofton, Burton, your top 5. Trying to get in line. We talk about the calm before the storm. Moving into turn number 3. Next time by, 2 to go.
It's amazing how much patience Kyle Busch has shown this entire race.
Don't get too far out ahead of them off of 2 down here. Still got another 2 laps. 2 laps. Needs a little push here. Don't let him push you out there.
2 laps to go. Johnny Sauter's best finish at Daytona, 17th. Trying to make it to victory lane at Daytona.
Remember now who he was leading at the restart of a green-white checker, got turned into the outside wall.
Finds himself right up front again this year. Look at these trucks starting to group up. They're bouncing all over the place.
The ThorSport trucks working that outside line. When will be the time to make your move?
Remember, if we get to the white flag, then there will be no green-white checker.
Coming out of 3 and 4. Here comes the ThorSport trucks on the high side, trying to make that 2-truck tandem work. Now, Austin Dillon makes the move to the outside. Here they come to the white flag.
Keep your eye on the 51. Don't get too far out ahead.
No green-white checker.
White flag in the air.
Oh, they crashed.
Crash behind them.
Just go with it.
The caution is going to come out. It looks as though Johnny Sauter is going to win this race at Daytona.
Wow.
We won.
He's not sure. He's still waiting for confirmation. But the white flag was taken. After the white flag's taken, the next flag determines the end of the race. And the celebration begins. Johnny Sauter is going to win at Daytona.
How about a little redemption for Johnny Sauter after last year?
How about Kyle Busch, another second-place finish in this race, his 3rd one.
3 times Kyle Busch has finished second in this race. Johnny Sauter goes from a best finish of 17th, and he will be the winner at Daytona.
Right here, baby. Good job, guys. Good job. I'm proud of you guys, man. We were on this one. We won at Daytona.
Nothing like
Just
winning at
as you
Daytona.
mentioned, we were owed this one.
He got it, too.
doesn't matter if you're driving a truck or a car. There's nothing like winning at Daytona.
He changed the number. He went from number 13 to number 98, and he ends up in victory lane.
Johnny Sauter kicks off the 2013 season with a win at the Mecca of Motorsports.
See Ron Hornaday, the 9 truck, pulling into the outside of him to congratulate him. Great job by Hornaday with a 3rd place finish.
Jeb Burton survives for a 5th place finish.
And again, they just took the white flag. The leader took the white flag, and Jeff Agnew in the 27 gets down on the apron, shoots back up the racetrack.
Yeah, James Busher got in the back of him, turned him down to the apron.
NASCAR, no choice but to throw the caution. You got trucks sliding sideways in the middle of the track. And when you have that situation, you've got to have safety. And the trucks had crossed the start-finish line. Kyle Busch, I think, was licking his chops, thinking he had Johnny Sauter right where he wanted him. And the caution flies.
And people may ask, well, wait a minute, they were way out of the way as that start-finish line, but the safety has to get to these trucks
there you go. You got
as quickly as they can. That's the reason
Keep coming, keep coming.
Out.
Keep coming, caution's out.
Saw the bump.
They got the
James
white.
Busher.
And the crew's reaction. They see the yellow flag come out. They know that Johnny Sauter is headed to victory lane at Daytona. The most prestigious racetrack in all of stock car racing, some would say in the world.
And Rick, also, just think about it. You can't have those trucks barreling back down to the checker flag with a crash in the triangle. The race had the caution flag had to fly when it did because those trucks were disabled, setting just across the start-finish line. You can't send 20 trucks racing out.
We talked about it. They got to the white flag. There would be no green-white checker.
Look at how this yellow smoke to start off with. He's burning the paint right off of the bottom of this racetrack.
What a great job by Johnny Sauter. An off-season last year, even though he won 2 times, swept both races at Texas, but he comes in here looking to make 2013 his year.
It is the 7th career win for Johnny Sauter, and I would guess this will be his biggest win of his career.
What about that rebound by, talk about championships, and maybe this ThorSport team rebounds from a devastating 2012. Matt Crafton out of the picture with 10 to go, gets a top 10 finish. So ThorSport really strong.
Let's go back down to Bob.
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our loyal fans for your continued support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.